And then, let me get this straight, they want to lock you down, keep you from working, not pay you, and if you have any kind of side hustle, the IRS wants to make sure to micromanage that. So now, if your bank account wasn't enough, they are going to be monitoring you through PayPal. And I hope you know that $600 from earlier that Biden tried to push, where the IRS would monitor you for that if you had like over $600 in your account. That never went away. They just changed it to $2,000. Now, they also are gonna watch PayPal if you do $600 in commercial transactions. Why? Cause COVID, apparently. So now, as of January 1st, Venmo, PayPal, and Zelle must report $600 plus in transactions to the IRS. Now, most people use PayPal and Venmo are the same company. It's just that Venmo is more popular with Gen Z and millennials, whereas PayPal's everybody else. I'm not sure about Zelle, but I think most people use that to do some sort of transaction. You know, like $600 within an entire year. And I believe that counts if you have like side hustles, like if you're a commission artist or like a modder that receives donations. I'm pretty sure that counts under this too. Okay, as of January 1st, mobile payment apps like Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and Cash App are required to report commercial transactions totaling more than $600 a year to the IRS. The change to the tax code was signed into law as part of the American Rescue Plan Act, the COVID-19 response bill in March. Because Rona, the IRS needs to monitor your financial transactions even more. You know that bill that had a bunch of this security state nonsense in it that basically every progressive voted for, and most of the people on the right, you know, most of the Republicans too, because they're a bunch of statists. But as other people have brought up, this is basically tax the poor. So if you have any, like 76, I think it was 76% of Americans cannot afford a $500 emergency. And then, let me get this straight, they want to lock you down, keep you from working, not pay you, and if you have any kind of side hustle, the IRS wants to make sure to micromanage that. Which, this is why this is basically like tax the poor. Because essentially there are a lot of people who maybe bring in like $700, $800, $1,000 extra dollars over the course of, you know, a year from a side hustle to get whatever they can. And not everyone reports all of those taxes. Like, some people forget about those taxes and fail to report it. Most people don't, but some do. So this is basically an added on tax to the poor. And Biden tried to disguise this as, when this was coming around, and other people who were proposing this at the time were saying, no, this is going to tax the rich. How? I don't know. Because they were already making transactions more than this, so who cares? But that just amazes me that they go, because COVID, we have to tax the poor more. We have to lock you up, take your job, not pay you to stay locked up. And then some of the progressives make a good point about the COVID relief bill and all this stuff that's in it, this tax the poor stuff, because COVID is uber scary and it's destroying everything and killing everybody. Don't worry, our rescue plan will tax you more, but we won't give you health care related to the Rona. Right? I'm not a Medicare for All guy, but I'm just pointing out that it's like they were bringing up all this stuff about how dangerous and scary it was, but after being locked up and not paying you and, you know, giving you like crumbs compared to every other country in the Western world, which is paying you wages, they won't give you COVID related healthcare stuff, but they'll make sure they're taxing you as far as they can go, because medical safety. You know what I needed to test when I got it? Like, what was it? I got alpha like a while ago. It didn't even affect me, but I still had to get a test. They were trying to charge me, and I'm in California. They were trying to charge me like $230 for a test while the lockdown was going on. So they won't they're not going to do anything about that unless you want a a medical procedure from a quote-unquote private company with no liability, that if you don't want, for whatever reason, we're going to punish you. And then they put stuff like this in here and then go, because we're worried about your health and safety. Right. Okay. So previously, it was, as it says here, you had to do over 200 commercial transactions that exceeded $20,000. So if you're transacting in PayPal over 20 grand in a year, you're probably doing okay, right? So this $600 change, this is a lot. So again, this is the IRS going to be coming down on poorer people because Rona. So the IRS said if a person accrues more than $600 annually in commercial payments on an app like Venmo, then Venmo must file a furnish form, a 1099-K, for them reporting on all of the commercial income they collected through the app. So it only applies to commercial goods or services. So if you're a freelance artist, that counts. Or freelance video maker, whatever. So again, if you had to pick up a side hustle during Rona because you had to make ends meet, or you lost your job and you had to do something, if you missed even a small minute of taxes that you forgot to report or whatever, don't worry, the IRS has got you. They'll just monitor you more. See, there we go. See, it says people who sell items on the internet on auction sites like eBay, and people who have holiday craft businesses and stuff like that. As long as they accept credit card payments through PayPal, which basically you have to if you're on the internet. There's really, I don't even know, there's not many other options I can think of. But it's interesting that it's only through those apps. So yeah, that's how it works. A tax crackdown on the poor because, your safety, your medical safety. I love how, like, American Rescue Act. And I like how I don't see, like, anybody pissed about this. This is just, on a side closing note, this is sort of why I kind of despise the culture war. Because while we all slap fight each other, the government and the oligarchs that really run the government basically can make off with all the money from everything they've been implementing, and then we slap fight each other over women's sports. You know, that thing nobody gives a shit about or nobody watches? Well, they continue to rip you off, and you're targeting the wrong people. So, go ahead, left and right, continue to slap fight each other while the government ups their security state, and the oligarchs continue to rip you off. Have fun with that. Let me know how it works out, and don't be shocked in 10 years when you basically have everything you do monitored. Because we've already seen the beginning of it 20 years ago, and people barely complain, and then it's off going left bad, right bad, over stupid stuff, while everyone agrees the oligarchs that control this and corporatism is trash. But okay, keep slap fighting.